Hello, I'm Kenny, and I'm a first year computer science major. I'll make this short compared to my last speech. I would like to be secretary for Fusion because I'd like to be an integral part of the Fusion board. Not that each position is not important, but I'd like to be a part of a part of the big part of what runs Fusion and contribute my abilities in any way that I can. There was a good saying by a current secretary that I definitely think is true, and I think it's that secretary is the glue of Fusion. And since the secretary is keeping account of all the emails, notes, forms, and such, it definitely carries a lot of responsibility, and I think that the rest of the board definitely depends on the secretary as well. And I feel like I'm ready to take this on. Although I don't have leadership experience at UCI yet, like I said in my previous speech, before I was the drum major of our marching band, I was the assistant drum major, which is kind of the training into the drum major, which included a lot of paperwork, which I definitely think correlates here with being secretary. And along with that, secretary maintains alumni relationships, and I feel like that's also a great part of Fusion, which is just seeing where they went, getting updates from them, and making connections for the future, or just making a new friend outside of UCI. The alumni panel we had was a beautiful way of seeing the possibilities where we could be after UCI, and asking for advice from those who went through kind of what we went through as well. So what could I bring as a secretary is my Google form and Excel expertise, and keep everything organized and easily accessible. And I could bring my past experiences to bring people together and ensure a meeting's going to plan.
Can we begin the Q&A? Okay, yes, Sam.
Which position would you prefer?
I don't choose one position over the other. I love them equally.
The question was, which would you prefer?
If I were to choose one, it would be EVP.
Thank you. Elizabeth?
So I think it's still part of your job, but one of your jobs is to make the yearbook.
Yes.
I'm not sure where
Yes.
it is
Yes.
here.
Yes, yes.
But what are your plans for yearbook, and how will you get people to actually join the committee?
I would definitely just generally just pub it out at all the Fusion meetings. Along with that, I would like to provide some type of incentive for joining that. So maybe like some fan points would be for joining that. But I definitely think that in general, you should pub that it's an exciting experience, and it definitely leaves a mark.
Other questions for Secretary?
So as secretary, you are in charge of alumni relations, and this year we only had our alumni panel, and some alumni still come out to our events, but how will you create more of a bond with the alumni and general members?
Yeah, I would definitely work with Jackie on that, trying to get more connections, and along with that, I would just continue to talk to them, every day, just talk to them about general stuff. And then what I would do is try to create more events with the alumni. It doesn't necessarily have to be like an alumni panel. It can just be like general members and the alumni coming together, doing something fun, which I would definitely try to do if I was secretary.
Other questions? Yes.
Critique the current position holder and how you can better
I haven't seen much of Jackie in terms of in action, so I cannot really critique Jackie. Sorry.
Try.
I guess alternative question. How do you feel that the current position is lacking, and how would you improve on it?
Okay.
Yeah? Is that okay?
I think just in general that alumni relations was kind of weak throughout the two past quarters, and I definitely think that it can be strengthened, and just like trying to create more events with those alumni.
Okay. Any other questions for Kenny? Yes, Jack?
How was your time management skills, and how is your like ability to use like Excel, Word, all the other InDesign, Photoshop, like everything that you'll use next year? So.
How is it?
What is this question?
Or like, first one's how is your time management skill, and second, do you have any experience with like Photoshop, InDesign, what Excel, PowerPoint, Word, like all the other tools that you'll need as secretary.
Also, like, I think the part of
Well,
it's the
applications.
programs.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So in terms of time management skills, which I talked about in my speech, I definitely have been working on it. I definitely think that it's improved. And it's gotten to the point where I'm able to definitely devote a lot of time into Fusion while not decreasing my time in academics. In terms of skills, in terms of like Photoshop, I've done some of that, and I definitely think like over time I can just play around with it, try to improve on it. And Google and Excel, that's we're Gucci on that.
Any other questions for Kenny? Yes, Sydney.
I think this is part of your job description, but you are in charge of making sure like meetings go well and all the details are planned out. So what will you do if a meeting's coming up like 1 to 2 days before the date and nothing's really set up, you don't know what they're doing, and people are just everywhere. They don't know what to do.
I would definitely try to contact everybody, get one in like a group chat or something. Definitely try to reach out and make sure that we know what each person is doing. And if we need to meet physically about specific things, then we can definitely do that. And that's what I would do.
I have a question for you. So the secretary is, part of it is a glue, which also kind of is checking up on every other board position, making sure they're doing what they're doing. How would you go about that?
I would meet with each board member, just kind of catch up on them. It can be like a weekly thing, which could be cool. Just meeting with each board member. It doesn't necessarily have to be about how they're doing. It just can be kind of like a hangout, where you can just casually just talk about like how you're doing in terms of board position. And if they need any help with anything, I could offer to help with that. That would be.
Thank you. Any other questions for Kenny? Yes, Sydney?
So as secretary, you have to do the emails, and this year they're kind of plain. Do you know how to make them a little more appealing so general members just won't like swipe left on it and like delete it?
I definitely think that like the fonts can be sized up a little bit. You can kind of bold things just to make the important things make them known to the general members when they receive the email. Definitely put the important things on the top just so that if they don't happen to go through everything, at least they get the gist of it at the top.
Yes, Hillary?
How do you plan to keep in contact with alumni or try to organize an event with them?
So I would work with Jackie on that and try to build off the relationship that he's already had with the alumni, and just continue to build that relationship and ask them to come out.
Yes, Aldrin?
How will becoming on board benefit you afterwards? Like, what are your plans after being on board?
What are your goals?
Yeah, yes.
I definitely think that I'll gain a lot of leadership experience here from being on board. Along with that, just being able to make connections with everyone here, as well as the board, as well as general members, and trying to persuade new members to join, and the alumni as well. And in terms of goals, hopefully, I'm hoping that I'm going to try out to be president in the future years, which I hope that this position will will leverage me up to the future.
Yes?
Do you have any ideas on how to improve the yearbook, like any new material you want to add, or like since it's online, or did you want to like make a physical copy, anything?
I definitely think offering a physical copy would definitely be good for yearbook. In terms of like the inner workings, I would have to look in on that and then try to see what I can do.
Okay. Any other questions? Any more questions for Kenny as for secretary candidate? Yes, Hillary.
What events do you plan to have with alumni?
Going into detail, along with the alumni panel, I would definitely do like maybe some like picnic day or just in general, like anything that it can be anything that's like fun or anything serious. Definitely, it can be like workshops about. It can range from like workshops about like what they're doing and like they could maybe teach us some of that stuff, and along with that could be also fun things such as like going out, watching a movie or going bowling or something like that.
I'll ask the last question.
Yeah.
So, I believe that you said that you are shy, and that's one of your flaws.
Yeah,
and you can name either another flaw, and you can. How do you plan to fix them, and how do you plan to like, improve on yourself?
This was something I was having a problem with last quarter, but it hasn't happened as much this quarter. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
It was kind of when I first joined Fusion, I had to adjust in terms of school time as well as going to Fusion meetings and spending time, which definitely gave me an attitude problem. So like I was kind of feeling negative about things. But then once I got into the gist of it and got into the rhythm of being able to spend specific time on this and specific time on that, it definitely got not as much.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That was the last question.